Hello, boys and girls. Greg from the Scary Spirits Podcast, here to make you another cocktail. This week's cocktail is the Jack's Lantern. And as always, is the featured cocktail in today's episode. We're going to start with a mixing glass with ice. To that, we're going to add spiced rum. 2 ounces. It's a lot of rum, boys and girls. Just saying. Next, orange juice. 1 ounce. Last ingredient, ginger beer. Again, one ounce. Then we're going to mix in our glass here. We're going to stir it up a little bit. Then we take our chilled martini glass and I'm going to strain it in there. And if you are so inclined, you can garnish with a blood orange slice. Jack's Lantern. It is a interesting color of yellow. Not bad, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. See ya.
If you listen to the Scary Spirits podcast, you know that Greg loves a good old anthology movie. And this week's episode, Tales of Halloween, doesn't disappoint. 10 short stories, all pretty darn good, happening in the same town, strung together by the incomparable Adrienne Barbeau and her sultry DJ voice. Listening to her soothing tones makes me feel like I should try a little harder, saying things like, "It's Halloween, when the veil to the other side is the thinnest. Be careful out there, all you ghouls and goblins." Yeah, I get it. I'll keep working on it. Cheers.
Welcome to the Scary Spirits Podcast. Please be advised that the presenters may use adult language and/or discuss adult situations. This podcast is not intended for younger listeners or those that may be easily offended. So, if you're ready, let's go.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm Greg.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen.
And welcome to the Scary Spirits Podcast, the podcast that combines the two very different but highly compatible worlds of scary films and alcoholic spirits.
What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed. How are you, Karen?
Doing great. How are you, Greg?
I'm a little chilly, Karen. It's getting cold.
It does
It's getting
happen
cold here in the
this time of
Midwest.
year. Well, yes, it's certain parts of the world it gets cold around this time.
Karen, was this film my choice?
It was. You want to tell everybody what you picked?
I picked the 2015 film Tales of Halloween.
Not Halloween Tales, everyone.
No, no, no.
Tales of
I don't know
Halloween.
how anyone could get that confused, but no,
Yes.
it's Tales of Halloween.
Don't watch the wrong movie. And why did you pick this?
Well, this film came out way back in 2050, Karen, on October 16th, and this episode comes out on October 15th. So look at that. And
It's
it's a horror anthology, which, I generally enjoy.
You do love a good horror anthology. Do you have a drink to go with it?
I do, Karen. It's called Jack's Lantern. And I was pretty pleased with this choice by the end of the film
I can see why.
because I picked this at the, flying by the seat of my pants last week.
Like I pick everything, but go ahead. It did work out well.
It did work out well. We're going to need 2 ounces of spiced rum, which as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I'm in.
Yes.
1 ounce of
It's
orange
delicious
juice.
already. It doesn't need anything else.
1 ounce of orange juice and 1 ounce of ginger beer. And that just was the cherry on top, Karen, the ginger beer. We're going to combine ingredients in a mixing glass or cup or shaker, whatever you choose
No,
to
not a
use.
shaker.
No, we mix it, but we're not going to shake. We're
Oh,
going to
okay.
mix
Don't
it.
shake it because that would be bad.
Yeah. Well, it's got ginger beer in it, which is carbonated.
Yes. Yes. That will be exciting.
Then we pour into a chilled martini glass. I wrote pour, but really I strained because I'm in a mixing glass with ice. So
Did you put ice in yours?
in the mixing glass, but then I strained it into my chilled
Oh,
martini glass.
I always keep my ice.
So there's no ice in my glass. And then if you want to be fancy, you garnish with a blood orange slice. I wish I would have had blood oranges, but I did not. So there you go. Should we give our friends and listeners time to make their own cocktail, Karen?
Nice and easy. Let's do it.
Hold on. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
All right, Karen, might you have a brief synopsis for us from this film from way back in 2015? Do you remember 2015, Karen?
I do.
Go on. Tell us all a story.
Tales of Halloween from 2015. 10 short stories revolve around ghosts, ghouls, monsters, the devil, aliens, and axe murderers who terrorize a suburb on Halloween night.
Thank you, Karen. We are a match. And I think that's the perfect synopsis of this film.
I think it's pretty good.
All right, Karen, tell us everything you really enjoyed about this film.
Well, like you said, it's an anthology. So those are always fun to watch. There's 10, like the synopsis says, and I thought they were all pretty good. I didn't think that anyone, I mean, of course, I like some better than others, but I don't think anyone was out of place or so much worse than any of the others that it didn't belong there. I know they're supposed to be connected. I didn't always see the connection. I realized at the end it's all in the same suburb and that's pretty cool but I didn't quite see the connection as it went through.
So that would be something you maybe did not like.
No, that's on me. I think it's cool that they
Yeah.
connected them. I just didn't see it. I had ads when I was watching it and they would come at very inopportune times. So I think sometimes I missed a little bit of the jump scare
Well,
or
where did you watch it?
I watched it on YouTube.
Okay. I watched on Amazon Prime and I had ads, but they
But
were not
sometimes they would just show up.
in the bad spot. They were not in bad spots.
Yeah, mine were right at like the jump scare and stuff. So it took a little bit away from it. But I think overall I liked it, not as much as I liked Trick or Treat, but I did like it. I thought it was all well done. I think it's a cool concept. I kind of wish they'd do more of it. And there is one or two of the short stories that I think could be like a film on its own. What about you? What did you like about it?
So I wrote just a few things. There's some good photography in it.
There's some decent special effects too.
I may get to that later, Karen.
Oh, sorry.
And I don't, I should have looked it up in the credits and whatnot. I don't know if it was filmed by the same crew and just directed by different people. Kind of feels like that
It
because
does.
it's all
They fit
shot pretty
together.
well.
Yeah. Nothing's that significantly different, but I don't know the answer to that.
I wrote it's well edited, not necessarily around. Again, I don't know if the same editor did the whole thing or if they all had different editors, but it's well edited, not necessarily just around the transitions to each story. Next thing I wrote is it's got pretty low budget effects, but they're good. And I wrote especially Friday the 31st, the story called Friday the 31st. I liked it. That's all I wrote down. All the acting's fine.
Yeah, nothing seemed out. Maybe you're right that it's edited by the same people or photographed by the same people because none of them, not one of them stood out as
Yeah.
incongruent with the rest.
Yeah,
Like
they were all
they don't
the same
follow,
styles, really,
yes. And it's
photography wise.
and the act like everything's kind of consistent.
So I did like that. We weren't jumping from, you know, a nice shot film in modern digital
Right.
or whatever to like some black and white grainy thing, which someone was being artsy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's true. It's consistent.
It all looked the same. That's all I wrote. Anything you did not enjoy, Karen?
I don't really have anything that I didn't like. A couple of them felt kind of rushed, almost like they didn't know how to end it and it just ends. And I was like, oh, wait, that's it? Of course, probably had an ad there, so I didn't know.
Well,
But
they got 10 people and they say, hey, you need to keep this
no,
with about
I
10 minutes
understand,
or
but
less.
sometimes it felt correct for the amount of time. Sometimes it almost felt like, well, we're out of time, bam, where it could have gone longer. And of course, they're short, they're 10 minutes. So I get it. I get the concept. I like the concept, but they were all almost, they could be fleshed out a little bit and it still would have been good. I realized you couldn't do 10. I'm not,
But that would have been a 5 hour movie,
no,
Karen.
I know. I'm saying I understand that the concept is the concept and I liked it and I liked the film, but a couple of them, or almost all of them, could have been longer, almost filmed shorts rather than, well, I don't know what a film short, how short it has to be, but I enjoyed them. So I would have liked to have seen more backstory or a little bit more information, but I get it. It's not really a ding. It's kind of another thing. I just liked the stories were each unique and they could have been expanded, which is kind of cool. But I don't really have anything I didn't like. Like I said, I couldn't follow, I couldn't see where they were all connected. I bet if I watched it a couple of times, I'd probably pick up on more. I saw a couple of things, but I did not see it through the whole thing. I will say Adrienne Barbeau has a very nice DJ voice. I wish I had her voice. And she connects a lot of them, but she sounds like a DJ, like she was in The Fog. So that I'm sure was done on purpose, but she's got a very soothing voice, but saying things like, it's the witching hour. Watch out there, boys and girls, where it's like this ominous stuff she's saying.
See, boys and girls, you just hear Karen do her DJ voice. Wasn't that wonderful? Don't sell
So,
yourself short, Karen.
did you not like anything?
The only thing I wrote is connection. I mean,
It was hard.
this isn't Trick or Treat, right? They're not really all connected. And the transitions between each one, it's just Adrienne Barbeau's voice, really. And they don't even
It's a
really,
hard black screen and then the next one,
yeah,
kind
and they
of.
don't really utilize her voice in all of the transitions. There's only one transition where it's actually someone on listening to a car radio, where it's okay. So they're listening to the same radio station. That's the only one.
Well, there was a boom box in one, I think, on the
Well, there
ground.
may have been, and the stories aren't nearly as, they are not intertwined at all, really.
I think they
It
are,
comes,
but not like Trick or Treat.
no, it's not like Trick or Treat, but it does come kind of around in the last story. So I give him an A for effort, I guess.
When was Trick or Treat? That was earlier than this, right?
Trick or Treat was in 2007, Karen.
So suffice it to say they're emulating that, if nothing else. But they definitely did not.
But not imitating.
No.
I'm just going to ask you right now, Karen. We've done several horror anthologies, including Body Bags, just not long ago, right? Which was, I think it was your choice, a John Carpenter
It was.
anthology, and A Christmas Horror Story, which was an anthology, and of course Trick or Treat. Is that's the only ones I could think of. We do any more?
I don't think so.
Where does this fall on your horror anthology in those films?
It's probably third. I like Trick or Treat best, then Christmas Horror Story, then this and Body Bags. But this and Body Bags are pretty equal in my mind. They're just a little bit a step below the others.
I would
What
agree.
about, yeah. I mean, it's still good though. I'm still entertained and it's very easy to watch because it's short
I would say this one is
films.
fourth.
Yeah, you really think Body Bags was better?
Yeah, just because we have John Carpenter in between every story.
But they were longer too, those stories. So I think you have
They
more of a
were.
chance to.
But we didn't have 10 of them either.
No, we did not.
But that doesn't mean, I didn't like it. I just think it's fourth of the horror anthologies we have reviewed thus far.
There.
All right, Karen, what kind of cocktail rating you want to give this film?
No, I think it's a solid 3.
I can't argue. Well, I could. But we ain't got time for that, Karen. I could go on and on and on.
It kind of has everything. I mean, it's done, I guess we should say, it's not exactly comedy, but it has
There are
little.
some comedic elements.
Yes. So it's less serious than Trick or Treat. There's
some comedy in that as well, though.
Yeah, but this is more in your face comedy.
Yeah.
This is a little campy, I would say, more. But there's gore. There's definitely gore. And it's pretty well done.
Yeah, it's low budget practical effects for the most part, and they're done well. And even the CGI is like funny.
True.
So, there you go. It does what it, I think, is setting out to do. I agree. 3 cocktails. All right, Karen, would you like to hear a review from the time?
Sure, let's do that. See what they have to say.
First, I have to tell you that Roger Ebert's website gave this a 2.5 out of 4. IMDb, a 5.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, a 77% approval rating. What do you think our Google users think of this film, Karen?
I'm going to go 70%.
72%, Karen. So
well, at least
close.
I was under.
You were
that
under.
Time.
The review I have is from Variety. I do have a review from RogerEbert.com, but it's too long.
Okay. Does he review each story?
I haven't read them. I just know it's printed more pages, and it's not by Roger Ebert.
Oh, okay.
It's one because I think he was gone by now.
Yeah, I think so too.
The review I have is from Variety, dated 10/10/2015, by someone named Dennis Harvey. And it's like one page. I'll read it all. Horror omnibuses are frequently a mixed bag. Sometimes they're not even a bag of tricks, let alone treats, but more like a box of inedible rocks. That, unfortunately, is pretty much the story with Tales of Halloween, a collection of 10 macabre miniatures that are disposably diverted at best and execrable at worst, despite the participation of some familiar genre faces and directors. Opened on 12 screens around the country October 16th, simultaneous with video on demand iTunes release, the pick will no doubt make a lasting impact as junk food for buffs in home formats. Thinly connected by audio input from Adrienne Barbeau as a sexy-voiced radio DJ, the tales here all take place on All Hallows Eve, presumably in the same town. Many unimaginatively revolve around a folk tale that turns out to be horribly true as the characters discover their mortal peril. In Sweet Tooth, it's the ghoulish spirit of a perpetually hungry child once deprived of his holiday candy by greedy parents. Grim Grinning Ghost has a woman terrorized by another local legend, while in The Weak and the Wicked, a demonic figure is summoned to wreak vengeance on bullies. Loudish humor dominates the night Billy Ray's Tale, with Barry Bostwick as a jokey Beelzebub playing nasty pranks on neighbors, and This Means War, in which rival Halloween yard displays royal bad blood between Dana Gold and James Duval. Trick finds two partying couples attacked by trick-or-treaters in reprisal for some tasteless, ugly crimes of their own. These early entries are polished enough but utterly routine in their simple concepts and broad execution. There's an uptick in quality later on, though improved directorial style and energy can only do so much to elevate what remain one-joke premises. Different kinds of monsters ensure crime doesn't pay for a respective serial killer and kidnapper protagonist in Friday the 31st and The Ransom of Rusty Rex. Ding Dong from Lucky McKee exerts a more assertive visual personality than can be found elsewhere in its Bad Mental Health Day spin on Hansel and Gretel. Finally, Bad Seed, directed by Neil Marshall, is a frenetic tale of man-eating jack-o'-lantern. Even the best of these, however, are held back by brevity from developing silly ideas into anything but truly memorable. Horror fans will enjoy spotting various favorite genre actors and even a few Helmers, including John Landis, Stuart Gordon, and Joe Dante, in cameos, along with the inevitable in-joke references to prior films. It's really time, however, for movies like this to give poor old Night of the Living Dead and Carnivals of Souls, the most overexposed public domain features ever, a rest for gratuitous excerpting. Was Carnivals and Souls in this?
I think it was, because it definitely wasn't. I know that Night of the Living Dead was.
I saw Night of the Living Dead over and over, but
I think Carnival Souls
Carnivals
was
of Souls
in the later ones.
Okay. A rather tacky computer-animated opening credits sequence aside, tech design contributions on the film.
Wait, did he say tacky?
Yes.
I thought it was very Tim Burton-like.
I liked it. Tech designer contributions on the film, which credits Grim Grinning Ghost, writer-director Axel Carroll as overall creator, are competent. There's a closing dedication to Ben Wolf, the actor with pituitary dwarfism, who plays the titular figure in Rusty Rex, and who died as a result of an auto collision earlier this year. There you go. That's it. Some big words in there, Karen. Again, stupid reviewers and your big words.
Variety.
Well, all reviewers. Every writer wants to use big words. All right, Karen. Before we get into it scene by scene, I believe next week is your choice. You want to tell all the boys and girls out there what film you have chosen for us?
I have chosen from 1971, Lady Frankenstein.
Any reason you chose that film, Karen?
If I recall correctly, this podcast comes out on October 22nd, which was the release date of Lady Frankenstein.
Do we have a cocktail to enjoy while we watch Lady Frankenstein in all her glory?
We do.
Go on.
Tell us a drink story. Go on, mix us a drink. Okay, I have the classic Gravedigger. It's a 3-ingredient recipe, and it's simple to mix and perfect for a crowd if you want to make a punch. But to make one, you're going to use 1 ounce of whiskey. Bourbon is a popular choice. 3 ounces of hard or fresh apple cider, and ginger ale to top, and some crushed ice. Fill a highball or tumbler glass with crushed ice, add the whiskey and apple cider, top with ginger ale, and stir gently to combine.
If only you told me this like a month ago, I would have
fermented my own apple cider to enjoy. But
My bad.
it's fine. All right. Well, I'm sure we all look forward to that, Karen. I know Lady Frankenstein has been on my list almost since we started this podcast. Just hasn't seemed the right time, but thank you. All right, Karen, are you ready to get into it scene by scene?
No, because first I'm going to ask you, give me your top two out of the 10.
Top two?
Yeah, which ones did you like the best? See if we have the same ones.
Well, are you trying to predict what I liked best? Or
No,
okay.
no.
All right.
I mean, I like a lot. I like them all, so it's not really a big deal. I liked pieces of each of them, but the two that I think got to me most is what I would like you to pick. Like which ones?
So I wrote three down that
Okay.
especially I enjoyed, and they seem to be getting better as the film progressed. But I'll say I watched this in 2 nights. I watched like an hour last night and 45 minutes today. So I'm trying to decide which one I like better.
You can do three. There's
two I really like a lot. And then there's another one. I'm going to go with my favorite I'm going to go with The Night Billy Raised Hell.
Okay.
And my other one, which is almost interchangeable, is The Ransom of Rusty Rex. But they're kind of the same kind of thing happens.
Yeah. Is there a reason that you really liked them, or it was they just stuck with you, or?
Well, The Night Billy Raised Hell was the first one, or the first of my three that I wrote down. And I like how they kind of switched it. They twisted it. You don't know what's going on until the very end.
But
I mean, I was looking at the kid. Yeah, I could tell, like, that's
not a kid in there.
But I applaud them for doing that. They could have just let the kid do it, right? But they actually used, the actor. So
that one was funny.
Similar.
They kept asking, "Is your mom going to wear the cat suit again this year?" Multiple people. It was funny.
And then my third, like those are 1A and 1B, so I'm going to say my second is Friday the 31st.
And that's the one with the chainsaw massacre takeoff.
Jason, no, it's the Friday the 13th takeoff.
Oh, well, but he's got a chainsaw.
Well, yeah, eventually, Yeah. No, I'm not sure he does.
Oh, wait, is that the wrong one?
Yeah, because he does. Yeah, he does. Eventually, he does have a chainsaw. You're correct.
So I picked ones. It's interesting that you said that they got better as they went along, because I thought I have two that are basically the same, just like you, but I thought Sweet Tooth.
I like that one as well.
Was really good because I thought the kid in it was really good as an actor. And then the way he responded when they ran out of candy, he needed more candy. And you knew exactly what that meant because the kid went, no. And then that whole thing happens. And I've never seen anything like that, which I thought, was unique.
Well, maybe I'll get into it later.
For me.
Write a note.
And then the other one that I really liked was The Weak and the Wicked, because it had
I didn't hate it.
Well, I liked that it had a little bit of a backstory, and then I love the ending where the blood just covers him, and that's the end. I was like, that resonates with me. I don't know what that says about me, but it resonates with me. And I thought, what was the one where there's a Halloween party and the woman's talking about don't turn around if you see
grim,
grinning gross.
And before you say anything, I wrote that one is the most suspenseful to me.
Yes. And I thought that one could be a movie. Like it's got some Medusa-like stuff in it. Like it could be, I think you could have pulled that one out almost full feature. And then whatever the last one is that
Bad Seed
is okay, but I love the ending because I love those kind of endings where, you're like, oh, crap. So each one has its own pluses, I think, and minuses, but those were my favorite.
Yeah, I didn't really get the ending. It didn't seem that big of a deal to me.
It's like,
it's not quite as impactful as, Indiana Jones and they're wheeling the whatever
no, it's like it's
into a
like when
huge
you
warehouse.
kill
But
the five-headed shark, right? And everybody's like celebrating, and then they see that, oh, it had 50 babies that are swimming off.
oh
Like
well,
that's what it is. I love those. Those are the best because it's sequel.
All right, are you ready to get into it scene by scene now?
Yes, let's go.
Tales of Halloween 2015, rated R on Amazon anyway, for flashing lights, strong bloody horror, violence, and gore. Flashing lights and strobing patterns might affect photosensitive viewers. And you said you watched it on YouTube.
I did.
I watched it on Amazon Prime. It's included with commercials. So the first thing I wrote is 3 minutes of commercials. That's the first thing I saw, Karen. And you can't fast forward. Well, I didn't really watch them all. Yeah, they were going. Then we have credits, and I see that Adrienne Barbeau reprises her Fog character as a radio DJ.
Yeah, I had made a note. I liked the credits because I said it looks very Tim Burton, very cartoony, very, you know,
And the credits are long because we get the credits for all the different short
yes.
stories. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't pay attention to if one person did all the photography or if they were just listing writers and directors and actors and actresses or whatever. But I wrote it's like a pop-up book. So I enjoyed it, the credits, opening and ending. And then we see the title screen, Tales of Halloween, or it says the October Society presents Tales of Halloween or some shit like that, right, Karen?
It does.
What the hell is the October Society? Do you
I
know?
don't know, but I want to be in it.
All right. And then we see Adrienne Barbeau. This is the only time we see her, I think, in the
It
very
is.
beginning.
I think so, yeah.
And she's apparently narrating.
Sort of. She's just talking about it's Halloween. Some people wear a mask to disguise. There's dark intentions. Others hide in plain sight. She's just talking about trick-or-treating. Keep your wits about you. Check your candy.
And when she says that, we cut to the first short story, which is the one called Sweet Tooth. See a kid checking his candy dressed as a pirate. Night of the Living Dead is on TV. And we see he apparently is with a babysitter and her boyfriend. And boyfriend tells him he better save some candy for Sweet Tooth. Apparently it's an urban legend. Timmy's parents would let him go trick-or-treating, but would not let him eat any of the candy.
Yeah,
They
this is the
sent him
story that they're
straight to
telling.
bed. He goes downstairs later that night to watch his parents eat all his candy.
It's like an
And
orgy.
I wrote erotic candy sharing.
Yes. Oh, that's good. That's a good way to describe it.
Look at me, Karen. I'm a wordsmith.
Yes.
Kid grabs a butcher knife and kills his parents. He eats a piece of candy and he ate every piece of candy but wanted more.
Well, that's because so they never let him have candy. So as soon as he kills his parents, he eats his first piece of candy ever, and then he can't stop.
Kid cuts his parents open and takes the candy from their stomachs.
It's pretty gross.
And the boyfriend says his spirit comes back now trick-or-treating and you have to leave him some candy or else. Babysitter tucks the kid in at night. Kid gets out of bed and leaves a candy bar by his door. A Carpenter candy bar, Karen. You think that's an ode
Yeah,
to
I
John
didn't
Carpenter?
maybe because I was like, I don't recognize that. What is it?
Pretty sure it's an ode to John Carpenter. Babysitter and boyfriend kissy face on the couch eating chocolate.
Watching the movie.
Erotically, I wrote, just like the kid's parents.
Yes.
Why did you do
I gotta get some of that candy.
Is there any other way to eat candy other than erotically?
Not in this short.
And they're watching Night of the Living Dead. Kid hears a noise.
Wait,
and
so just I didn't do much, but I will tell you that Night of the Living Dead is from 1968. It's a black and white horror film, and it's known for many. We did review or did an episode on it. It's got a bunch of firsts in it. You know, an African American lead in the horror film. It's a good movie, obviously. So go check it out if you haven't.
Kid hears a noise and looks out the window.
Well, he hears someone say "trick or treat" really low. That was terrible. You'll have to do it, but
That was pretty good, though. Babysitter and boyfriend have tummy aches after eating all the candy,
and they say
erotically.
we can't believe we ate all the candy.
She goes to get some Pepto-Bismol. Boyfriend falls asleep on the couch. Some creature puts his hand down the boyfriend's throat. Babysitter comes back and finds him. Creature chases babysitter. Kid hides under bed. Is that what happens?
Yeah, but he gets the babysitter.
Then the door opens to the kid's bedroom, and the creature reaches his hand in and takes the candy.
So he leaves the boy alone. And I said, he's going to get blamed for this right here in my notes because he's left and they're dead and his parents come home.
Next thing I wrote, mom and dad arrive home in their Lexus. Coming home from a costume party, I wrote. Find the babysitter and her boyfriend dead. The kid is standing there and he says they ate all my candy. And that's the next thing I wrote. Well, I mainly wrote in there today. You think the kid did it? And this was all like,
Oh, I didn't think so. But
okay, so you
could
think
be.
the actual like ghoul or creature did it?
I didn't even question it, Greg. I just went with it.
All right.
But it's a good point. I guess he could have.
All right, we're
But
going
I
with
just
it
thought
then.
he was in shock and he said they ate all my candy and now he's going to get blamed for it. But
Well,
I guess
he
it could
is.
have been. Hey, you're already halfway through the podcast. What do you think? If you like what you hear, can you take a minute and follow us on social media? At Scary Spirits Podcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thanks so much for listening. Now let's get back to the show.
All right, next story. The Night Billy Raised Hell is the title. Sister and boyfriend taking a kid trick-or-treating. And they talk him into doing tricks, as you do. His name is Billy. He goes to throw an egg at a house, but
Well,
the
wait. So
man-
the boyfriend asks Billy if his mom's going to wear the cat costume again this year. They're still talking about it from last year. But go ahead.
Billy goes to throw an egg at a house, but a man opens the door and grabs the egg from him and throws it and hits the boyfriend.
Well, they do. So wait, something important happens right before that. They tell him if he doesn't go up and egg the house, they're going to tell everybody he peed his pants.
Yes.
And that's what, because they start chanting his name and peed his pants or whatever. So that's what makes him go up there.
And I wrote, the guy has horns, but he pulls Billy into the house.
Yeah, he covers his horns with his top hat.
And next thing I wrote is when it gets dark, they go out and walk among the trick-or-treaters because they were bitching in the beginning about how light it was. Trick-or-treat time. The kid is dressed as a devil.
Same costume he had on.
Yeah, goes to a house apparently of a dentist, question mark. Dentist teases him with candy and gives him toothpaste, a toothbrush. The guy takes the toothbrush and carves a point into it, makes a shiv, Karen.
Yes.
Gives it to the boy and tells him to knock on the door again. He does, and the kid stabs the man. And we cut to Billy the kid, that's his name, destroying Halloween decorations, tripping kids and taking their candy, robbing them at gunpoint. He robs a convenience store, and he carjacks a social influencer, apparently.
Oh, so wait. So they pretend that the older guy's had a heart attack and Billy's giving him CPR and a car stops and a woman gets out and the old man says, "Are you Adrian Curry?" So I had to look up who Adrian Curry was, and she won season 1 of America's Next Top Model, so which was in 2003. But that's who she is.
Okay. Billy drives a car hitting trick-or-treaters.
He
We see him
graffitis a wall.
spray painting a garage door. He wrote, Billy Thompson owns the night.
Yes. So he identifies himself.
I really like this story. That's what I wrote, The Night Billy Raised Hell. I really like this story. I wrote Murder Mayhem.
He's setting Halloween decorations on fire after dousing them in gasoline. He's just devil's night out doing all the things.
Yeah. Living his best life, Karen. Murder or Mayhem, I wrote. They get back to the man's house. and we see, oh, Billy is tied up to a chair in the house. This wasn't Billy at all. They untie him and tell him to go home, but they warn him that the police may come see you, but as soon as he walks out, the police stop him and he pees his pants.
Yes. Which this one, I do like the story. I think it's clever and there's a twist and everything. But poor Billy, I mean, he was bullied into doing the damage. It should have been the boyfriend that got in trouble, not little Billy. They just forced him to do it.
True, but he didn't. They didn't force him to do anything. They tied him to a chair and
No. I mean, the boyfriend and his sister bullied him into doing it, is all I mean. So he just took the fall. He's going to take the fall for something he didn't want to do anyway.
That's true, but still, it was entertaining. Next story, Trick. We see Night of the Living Dead again. Two couples watching the movie. Trick-or-treaters knock on the door.
And they're smoking.
Or the guy is smoking a bong.
Yeah.
We see a kid dressed as a witch at the door, and she stabs the guy in the stomach multiple times and runs away. The guy stumbles into the room and collapses. Woman runs out to get her car. I guess she's going to pull it around to take him to the hospital. But she did not have her keys out first, Karen. Don't you always have your keys out
Women
first?
always have their keys out, and they always check underneath the car.
Trick-or-treaters surround her, and they attack her with knives. She gone.
Well, they sliced her ankle first from underneath the car, but then they surround her, yes.
And then she walks toward the house and falls into a pool. And a kid dressed as the devil burns a guy who was smoking the bong and then pours rat poison down his throat.
And tapes his mouth shut.
Only woman left hides in the pool house. Cut again to Night of the Living Dead. We see the other woman floating in the pool. Trick-or-treaters stand around it. The other woman I wrote starts removing Halloween photos from her phone, question mark. I didn't know what she was doing here.
Yeah, this one's, I think, the most confusing.
Yes. Kids enter, turn on the lights. A girl lying there in the room with her eyeball removed. Kids kill the woman. Apparently the woman and the other adults were torturing children.
Yes. So she was deleting.
And she was taking photos of them.
Yes, she was deleting the photos so they wouldn't be on her phone when she should have been.
She got they all got what they fucking deserved. So
they did. Fine. So it was a big twist, but it was so quick that
it was a very quick story.
Yeah, but it also was we didn't see them doing any of that. And so it starts off like, oh, the kids are all losing their minds and they're all killers. And then there was a reason they were doing it.
We hear Adrienne Barbeau again. Next story, The Weak and the Wicked. We see an older trick-or-treater. He's grabbed by a couple guys. A girl who we learn as Alice starts to burn him with a cigar. And a person dressed as a horned creature enters the alley.
Yeah, they're about to... She's smoking a Swisher Sweet.
As you do.
It's a little cigar. She's going to burn the kid's feet, but then the horn...
Could be any number of cigars, but...
True. The only one I know that looks like that.
Don't remember Backwoods Smokes, Karen? The Clint Eastwood cigars. That's what you used to call them. Clint Eastwood cigars.
Yeah, that would have been better. But yes, the horned figure steps into the alley.
And the horned figure hands Alice a piece of paper. It's a picture of the character. Then the two boys that are with Alice rough up the kid a little bit, but he runs away.
I thought he had braces on his legs, but I guess they were just parachute pants. I don't know.
He's wearing catcher's gear.
Oh, okay.
Like he's a baseball catcher. They put on masks and follow him.
On bicycles.
Yeah, mountain bikes.
So he's running and they're coming after him with bicycles. And there's, heavy metal music playing.
I almost made a note about the music as well. It's pretty good. Kid ends up at a dead end. He climbs over a wall to run away. Checks his pocket watch.
Yeah, he keeps checking his pocket watch.
And then we flash back to him wearing a bunny costume, question mark.
So he stops and they're right behind him. And then he flashes back to his childhood.
Because he's in front of a camper. And then we see that camper with his parents in it in flames, Karen.
Yes.
And the other kids who are chasing him now are behind him, but much younger.
Yes. So it's a flashback. Yeah.
And Alice, the girl, is holding a Zippo lighter.
She said, and he says, they didn't do anything to you. And but then
But then they recognize him.
they come back to current time and they recognize him.
Alice tells the other boys to hold him down. Kid said something about the word carved in flesh.
Yeah. So when we see him, he's in what would you call that hat that you pull over your face? It's like a ski mask.
Ski mask, but
Yeah.
he's cut the eyes out.
But you can see blood underneath. So they ripped the hat off. I couldn't see what's carved in. I didn't see what the word was.
It's his name. It's her name, Alice.
Oh, okay.
Bullies beat him up. Alice hits him with a bat and pours alcohol on him.
It looks like she's going to set him on fire. Yeah.
She lights her lighter and her accomplices are pulled away from behind her.
Like magically, almost. Yeah. Oh, that's another good word, Greg. Mysteriously. I like that.
Then we have a close up of the picture he handed her.
Yes.
Which of the looks paper.
Like it was pulled out of a grimoire, How to Summon a Demon.
Ooh, grimoire, Karen. That's a good word. Back of the paper talks about summoning a demon. Demon kills Alice. The end.
But the end is the blood just splatters.
On
like a bucket of blood goes on the kid who summoned the demon's head. I thought it made me jump. So I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome.
Next story, Grim Grinning Ghost, which is a reference to Disney's Haunted Mansion.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. The song that plays in your Doom buggy throughout the Haunted Mansion ride is called Grim Grinning Ghosts.
Okay.
And apparently we're at a Halloween party. Adults telling ghost stories, ?
Yeah, she's a fortune teller telling ghost stories.
Well, she's dressed as a fortune teller.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Woman telling the story of Mary Bailey, a girl who was ridiculed because she had a deformed face. Now she comes back every Halloween, Karen. They scare a girl, and apparently it's the daughter at her mother's Halloween party.
Yeah, they say she's just so easy to scare.
Daughter leaves, end of the party. And
she goes, did you hear her say, I can drive, I'm not that drunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she turns on the radio and we hear Adrienne Barbeau. So this is the only time that really...
Doesn't the cop hear it, have it in her car too, or not?
I don't know. Girl is startled by something and slams on the brakes. Car stalls and will not start. And then she smokes a Marlboro, Karen.
Because that'll help.
Yeah.
Her phone is dead. And she keeps just saying shit. Yes, shit. Yes. Everything.
She pops the hood and sets her phone down and then closes the hood on her phone, breaking it. So she begins walking home, apparently. I'm assuming. She is startled by Halloween decorations and people coming back from parties. She hears footsteps behind her and cackling.
And a cackle, yes.
Which was part of the ghost story.
Yes.
She walks faster and tells herself not to look, but because you're not supposed to look, Karen.
No, because Mary Bailey will get you if you look.
A shadow approaches from behind her out of the fog. I wrote, nice shadow work on the fence right here. Because I think there's like hands like kind of close in on the white picket fence. That's pretty good. She arrives at her door and fumbles for her keys. Again, she doesn't have her keys out, Karen.
I don't understand.
What is wrong with these women? From everything I've learned from you, they're supposed to have their keys out, Karen.
Maybe they don't watch a lot of horror films.
And she looks back before she closes the door.
That was the fatal flaw.
Whatever. Well, no, we cut to her brushing her teeth. Dog enters the bathroom.
But that's the only time she looked back. Doesn't say it's immediate. Just says you have to look back.
And I thought for sure something was going to happen in the mirror.
I know,
because she's brushing her teeth.
Because she's brushing her teeth and she's looking in the mirror and she opens the medicine cabinet and gets something. And almost 90% of the time when someone closes the mirror, someone's behind them. But I was prepared, but it did not happen.
I was too, but it didn't happen. So I give him credit for that. Her dog does open the door, come in.
Yes. So the door opens behind her and she freaks out a little bit and it's the dog. Do you know what kind of dog it was?
No, I don't.
It's a Basenji, which was kind of weird. Uh,
Basenji.
it's got the curly Q tail.
That's
It's a
a big word.
it's a breed of hunting dog created from stock that originated in Central Africa. It doesn't bark. It does like not yodels, but it is kind of a yodel-like talking sound, but it's known as the
I would
barkless
have called
dog.
it a dingo, but
They're athletic and can run 30 to 35 miles per hour. It says it's uniquely similar vocalizations, the Basenji and the Australian dingo. So they're known as the singing dogs. So you're right. And it says Basenjis lack a distinctive odor or dog smell. In case you want a dog that doesn't have dog smell, you can get a Basenji.
that might be important if you have allergies.
It is hypoallergenic.
So again, we're watching Night of the Living Dead. Dog gets freaked out and runs away. Girl sits back to find a female creature sitting next to her on the couch.
And that's right when I got an ad. So was that the end of it?
Cut.
It was.
Commercial, 3 minutes. That's
Yes.
where mine are.
Yes.
Next story, ding dong. We have flames. Then we have words to read. Jack and Bobby's house last Halloween.
So this one is one I couldn't tell, like you couldn't tell if the little kid in Sweet Tooth did it. I couldn't tell if this was real or just she was just so upset it was kind of imaginary and she was doing the things but blaming it on the demon. This one confused me that way
Okay.
because she's so desperate for a child that everything distorts in her world. Anyway, I just didn't know which way this one went.
Woman upset she doesn't have a child. First thing I wrote, Halloween night. But Jack dresses the dog up. Bobby punches him in the mouth and then turns. Like she's like demonic.
And there's nice shadow work in this one with the kids outside the window.
She says, "Where's my child?" Yeah, I can get where you would be confused. Is she really turning, or is that all in his
Or
imagination?
is he
what's
seeing
going on?
it? It
Yeah.
was weird.
Then we see Jack and Bobby's house this Halloween. More words to read, I think. Jack and Bobby go to the door to give trick-or-treaters candy. They're dressed as a witch and Hansel.
Yeah, he's
Bobby talks about eating Gretel. Bobby's the wife. And I wrote, it's the same trick-or-treaters we've seen in the other stories. So that was a nice
yes.
inclusion.
But
Jack
she
and-
keeps eating an ear over and over and saying things. I ate the ear last so they could hear the crunch or they could hear me eating her. Whatever. It was weird.
Yeah, they have this whole scene they play out over and over again every time a kid comes to the door. A girl and her mom, a little girl and her mom come, and the mom is like holding onto the child's wrist very tightly, and it triggers Bobby, I guess. And she decides she's going to make cookies.
Yeah, she just runs and goes, I'm going to make cookies.
And she heats the oven to 666 degrees, Karen. The
Does yours
perfect
go-
temperature for bacon.
Bacon children, anyway. Does your oven go up that high?
I don't think so. Doorbell rings, and it's a little boy dressed like just like Hansel. And I wrote, Bobby turns every time she looks at him. Jack turns on the light and yells to a woman walking by, asking if the kid is hers. And it is, and she runs up.
And
So
Bobby's
Jack
not
saves the
happy
kid.
about that.
No. So then Jack and Bobby have words, and Jack reveals that he had a vasectomy, so they could not have a child because he was afraid of what Bobby would do to it.
Because of what she's done to him. Yeah.
Again, she turns, she puts him in the oven, but then she cries
But for some reason, she melts. I
and
don't.
begins to melt. The end. Next story.
Yeah, that one was weird.
This means war. So which short did you think I would like the best, Karen? Did you think I would like this one at all?
No, but I thought you could relate to this one. I was just thinking you're lucky you don't have a neighbor across the street.
I didn't like this one.
I didn't.
At the beginning, I liked it, but I'm like, no, we wouldn't do that. We embrace each other as haunters.
I thought this one was one of the weaker ones. It did surprise me at the end, but I didn't.
So the first thing I wrote is he's taking down Halloween decorations. And I wrote, oh no, he's putting up Halloween decorations. And he has new neighbors, and apparently they're haunters, Karen.
Yes.
That would be my dream. Halloween night. New neighbors across the street make everyone go away because of their crazy heavy metal music, Karen. That was kind of crazy. I wouldn't like that. He
No,
confronts his neighbor.
it almost looks like they hired someone to come in and do their lawn because a truck pulls up and they start pulling the stuff out. So the guy who's
True.
across the street that we start with looks like handcrafted the whole thing. He does the same thing every year.
Well, as you do.
Well, you add a little bit every year, but this looked like they were corporate, like they brought in something. They didn't do it themselves.
That's
So
true. It does. Guy confronts his neighbor. He says he's been doing this display for 20 years, but his neighbors like ridicules him like, you all, yeah, duh, we can tell.
Yeah, it's boring.
So then he like has a psychotic moment and he begins tearing apart the neighbor's control center, I wrote, Karen, the traditional haunter. But then the new neighbor goes over to the other guy's house and decapitates his 3-axis skull. That's what it was, Karen, a 3-axis skull.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the terminology. They fight. Neighborhood gathers and begins taking bets.
Yeah, fight, fight, fight.
It's almost like the whole neighborhood was like, when do you think they're going to come to blows?
Like they were all just waiting.
The two Halloween guys. What's going to happen here? They struggle and fall into a prop casket. Casket breaks. They come rolling out.
Yeah,
New
they
neighbor
keep
throws
fighting.
the old haunter around the yard, destroying most of his props. Neighbors cheering. Older haunter gets impaled on a stake. And I wrote, oh, no, they both do.
Yes, I thought so too. I thought, oh.
He impales each of them on a stake, and then
They
we cut
both fall
to
on it.
police arriving and vomiting. That's always good. Next story, Friday the 31st. Adrian Barbeau talking, but we don't see anything. It's just talking.
See, I thought there was the boom box in the field there.
Could have been.
Pink boom box, because I think Dorothy had it.
So we see a girl dressed as Dorothy runs through a foggy wooded area, followed by a masked man with a machete, I wrote.
And a head, I think. There's lots of beheadings in these like lots of people get beheaded.
She hides in the shed and barricades the door. And I wrote, she apparently is in the killer's lair.
Yes.
There's lots of dead bodies in the shed.
That was not the place to run to.
And I wrote, is that Jason's mom's head in the pumpkin?
I don't know. I couldn't figure out.
I think it's the actress who played Jason's mom in the very first Friday the 13th. Her head
That's awesome.
inside a pumpkin. So then a masked man with the machete breaks through into the shed. Girl dressed as Dorothy grabs a pitchfork and stabs him. She tries to run away, but he grabs her by the ankle. She hits him with something and runs away. It was all very quick.
But they fought. She put up a valiant effort.
He goes after her and throws a spear like 50 yards.
Yes. The javelin just
Yes, right through
Gets
the
her.
middle of her chest. He goes to retrieve his spear and a UFO appears above him. And then we see a tiny alien trick-or-treater. The UFO flies away. Alien keeps saying trick-or-treat, but killer has nothing for him. And he tries to he can't talk, so he's like kind of pantomiming. I got nothing.
Yeah, the killer can't talk. And
He's like slapping his hands against all his pockets. Like, I got nothing. Killer crushes the alien with his foot. Just stomps him. But then we see the alien going into Dorothy's mouth. The girl dressed as Dorothy. Dorothy's eyes glow. I wrote red, but I think they're green. Aren't they green? And
with
she
green,
goes,
green in her eyeballs, so they're green.
yeah, she goes after the killer. Screaming, I wrote. He hides in a barn. I'm like, oh, no, it's the same shed.
Yeah, so he does the same thing she did when she was running away from him, but she busts through the door.
She busts through the door and levitates over him, it's pretty well done. They cut each other, each one
They fight
inflicting
like
the same damage on each other.
Yes.
She takes an arm, he takes an arm, whatever. It's just
Gets the chainsaw out to behead her, and she's got a hatchet, and he finally gets her head cut off.
Blood flies from a chainsaw, decapitation. They both collapse on top of each other. They've both been decapitated,
Yep.
but they fall on top of the chainsaw too, and it's still
Yes.
going.
Yes.
So then the alien leaves the girl's mouth and says, "Trick or treat," and the UFO flies away again. Next story.
But
I
he
kind of
takes the
like that
head
one.
back with him, I think.
That's why it's my second. I like that one. It was funny. Adrian Barbeau, next story, The Ransom of Rusty Rex. Two guys in a van outside John Landis's house, apparently, because that's who comes out. But that's the actor, not the character. They're bank robbers, but they're going to move on to kidnapping.
Yes.
And apparently a millionaire named Jebediah Rex is who John Landis is playing. And of course, we all know John Landis from, director of American Werewolf in London, other wonderful films. So Jebediah Rex sends his son trick or treating. Guys from the van kidnap the kid.
Easily.
Yes, kidnappers call dad. Kidnappers want $5 million, Karen. Dad tells them they've made a terrible mistake. They have no idea what they've done. And he hangs up.
Yeah, he's like, he doesn't even negotiate.
Kidnappers call him back. Dad says he's not interested in negotiating with them.
He's kind of like, good luck with that.
Kid breaks free from his chair. Kidnappers look for him. Kid attacks one of the kidnappers. I wrote, the kid kind of looks like Nosferatu.
I almost thought it was the same person from,
The other one.
yeah.
Right?
Is it?
No. Well,
Oh,
might have been the same actor. Different character,
gotcha.
I think. The kid fires a shot at one of them and misses. Apparently he's got a gun now. I don't know.
Well, they shot at him, but then he runs out of bullets.
One of the kidnappers chases it and tries to fight with it. The other comes up behind it and hits it with a chair.
Yeah, so they knock him out.
Kidnappers take the kid to a swamp, question mark. We hear a kid crying, question mark. One of the kidnappers checks on the kid and it vomits in his face. The kid's in a bag, right?
Yeah, a tarp or something. They're going to throw him in the pond.
Throw him in the swamp. Kidnappers arrive back at their lair, but there's swampy footprints on the floor, Karen. We see the kid behind one of the kidnappers and it licks his face with a very long tongue.
Yes.
They call Dad again and beg him to take him back. Dad refuses. He says the kid showed up at his door 5 years ago on trick or treat night and would not leave.
So he's happy. He's like, he's never going to leave you.
Kidnappers put the kid on the porch by the door and light it on fire. And they decide to just drive away and keep on driving. And we see the kidnappers at a convenience store, question mark.
Yes.
One of
Stopping
them
for provisions.
gets back in the van and the kid is in the back seat. And he has the decapitated head of his partner. The other guy screams.
See, lots of decapitations.
Next story, bad seed. Recovering a pumpkin, Karen. Couple having a Halloween party. Pumpkin attacks the husband. Wife comes down in her cat costume.
Yes. So I was wondering
This
if
is the first time we've seen the cat costume.
Yes. Just, is that Billy's mom? Anyway, there's a cat costume.
Pumpkin decapitates her partner and scurries away. Police arrive as the coroner is zipping up the body. Detective arrives and is questioning the wife.
They have her with a sketch artist. That was pretty funny.
Sketch artist shows the detective a picture of the perpetrator is a pumpkin.
Yes.
And then we hear the captain wants to see the detective at the station.
Immediately.
Next thing I wrote is 3 minutes of commercials. So then we see a kid dressed as a pirate trick-or-treating. House with a huge jack-o'-lantern on the porch with gold coins inside its mouth.
I'd probably fall for that.
Kid puts his hand in and tries to grab the coins. Pumpkin eats the kid.
Yep.
Cut to the police station. Detective called in by her captain. Captain's not happy. He pretty much wraps up the whole movie and tells the detective to clean it all up.
Yeah, he kind of goes through the crimes that have happened.
Forensic guy arrives and he's discovered that the man was decapitated by something with a mouth that looks like a pumpkin.
A 3D rendering.
Yeah,
they
he has
did
a whole thing
back
there.
in the day.
Yeah, I know. Like he had a 3D printer. We hear Adrian Barbeau talking about the witching hour and locking your doors, and I'm wrote, this is very the fog like. I
Yes.
think she
But I
says
think
the
that's
same
when,
line.
oh, I think the detective is listening in her car.
Yes, detective gets a radio message to go to a location where things are getting crazy. She arrives to see a pumpkin running through the streets, chasing the public. She shoots at it as it runs away and she misses. She gives chase, ends up in a space full of jack-o'-lanterns, Karen.
It's a party in the backyard full of pumpkins.
She just needs to look for the one that is CGI, is what I wrote.
Yes.
She hears the noise and fires a couple shots. I'm like, oh, there it is. And of course, she is out of bullets now. Another officer arrives and throws her a shotgun. She shoots the pumpkin, and the guy who threw the shotgun is the forensic analyst. Whatever.
Oh, I didn't remember
Forensic
that.
guy,
But,
yeah.
but she's
says,
like, I guess I owe you that drink now.
because they had a conversation about drinks earlier. And she picks up a piece of the pumpkin with a sticker on it, and it says Clover Corporation Super Pumpkin. Cut to a building called the Clover Corporation. Police arrive. They demand to see where they grow the super pumpkins. And then they walk in and we see pumpkins as far as the eye can see, Karen.
Yes.
Pumpkins by infinity. And
That's a lot of killer pumpkins, I said.
And then we hear Adrian Barbeau talking. The witching hour is over. Credits the end. And then we see In Memory of Ben Wolf, 2015. Who was the little person that I think played all the demonic little kids. All right, Karen, what did you think of our Jack's Lantern? It ended up being okay with the plot.
Well, it definitely went with the last one.
The last story, yes.
Yeah. And there are pumpkins throughout.
Well, it's a Halloween film. There's gotta be
Exactly.
pumpkins.
You can't go wrong with it. It's delicious.
Mine has evaporated.
It's not exactly a lanai drink, but it's lanai
Not exactly. It might be a fall
adjacent
lanai drink.
Yes. That's exactly what it is.
Or a winter lanai drink. Whatever. All right. Anything we learned today, Karen?
We learned about the Basenji and Adrian Curry and a little bit about the Night of the Living Dead. That's about it. Weak in the learning department. Gotta step up my game.
We're getting dumber by the minute, Karen.
Well, welcome to my world.
All right. Anyone you need to thank this week?
Well, as always, we need to thank our listener. There are so many podcasts out there. Thank you for spending time with us. What about you, Greg? Who do you need to thank?
I need to thank the friends and listeners in the Lone Star State once again, Karen.
Texas coming through.
And of course, the band Verse 13 for providing all the music in the Scary Spirits podcast.
The music definitely makes the podcast better.
Anything else, Karen?
I'm going to work on my DJ voice. Please drink responsibly.
Is that the best you got, Karen?
No, but it'll do.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the Scary Spirits podcast, where the movies might be iffy, but the drinks are always solid. We would love to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Scary Spirits Podcast, or go to our website, scaryspirits.com. And if you want the direct line, email us at info@scaryspirits.com. If you really want to help us out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And remember, always drink responsibly. See you next week.